back to Distilled Tarot. My name's Shannon. I'll be guiding you through today's reading. This is going to be our daily reading for Wednesday, March 10th. At the heart of your reading, we have Justice in reverse. Definitely an imbalance. I get the sense of feeling like you are repaying karma. The challenge, we have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Five of Swords. This is either a disagreement between two people, one of whom would be more stubborn, and the other of whom would be more gentle and passive, like wanting to keep the peace, and the other person really charging ahead. And they might really be at odds with one another. Like fire and water don't mix sort of energy. Show me Leo's focus. What has Leo's attention? Two of Swords reversed. You've made a decision, but you're still focusing on the decision that you've made. A decision that you've made regarding repaying karma. And I think you factor in on one or the other side of this. I would tend to think that you would be the Wands energy since you're a fire sign. But this could come down on either side for you, whether you feel like you've been the more assertive or the more passive energy in the situation. It would be a relationship between two people, not necessarily romantic, where there's just been a lot of conflict, a lot of arguments, and one person seems to always get their way because the other person is more like averse to conflict in general. Show me what led up to this for Leo. Yeah, what you are noticing about the situation is the imbalance, the unfairness. I think you might be looking at your own behavior and seeing, oh gosh, I might like steamroll this situation. I wonder if the other person's just letting me have my way because it's easier for them. In the recent past, we have the Magician in reverse, which can be a very selfish manifester. In manifestation, anytime there's another person involved, I believe that we are co-creating with one another, that each one of us has a sphere of influence in which we can manifest. Now, if you have other people in your environment, you're manifesting along with them, co-creating your shared environment. The Magician in reverse is someone who asserts their own will in the situation over someone else's will. that can be one of the interpretations. And entirely possible that you've been the more passive person in the situation, wanting to keep the peace, wanting to make the other person happy, allow them to have their way. And whatever side of that is, I feel like the imbalance is with one person always getting their way and the other person nearly never. And you're wanting that to be more fair, more even. Show me the energy of the environment for Leo. Page of Pentacles. This is a big life lesson for you. This awareness of the imbalance is making significant headway for you in how you view interpersonal interactions. And you're very open to it at the moment. You're curious about it. It's starting to make sense for you, and you see how you can implement perhaps a new strategy. For some of you, we're talking about a child or children in the environment being kind of the guiding factor here. Something's been an argument between a parent and a teacher, or two parents. Disagreement about what's right for the child, and one person always giving in to the other person. Show me the near future for Leo. How does this story unfold? The Hermit. Yeah, okay. Seeing the big picture, getting outside of your own lens. It can be very easy to settle into seeing life through your own personal perspective, and truly putting yourself in the shoes of another person can take concerted effort, a lot of mental effort to be able to see things from another person's perspective, not just what you would want if you were in their shoes, but what they want. This is part of the lesson that you're learning right now, is to be able to really put yourself in the shoes of another person, to be able to see things from a different perspective than your own. Show me surprise energy, the High Priestess. When you seek a higher perspective, that is automatically connecting you more strongly to your higher self, to spirit, to the divine. And I think it might be a side effect of you seeking a higher perspective, a greater, broader perspective of the situation, that opens up something in your spirit, in your soul, in your mind, to be able to allow a stronger connection to a greater understanding that exists in the spirit realm. I think you're going to start to really dial into your intuition in a way that was unintentional, like a side effect of what you're taking a look at right now. Show me hopes and fears for Leo. Two of Wands, choosing a new path. Well, I've been on this path for so long and it served me well. If I move in a new direction now, if I start to take a new approach to how I view this situation, how is that going to change my life? Is it going to set me on a new course? Do I even want to change? It's like, I like who I am. I like the path that I'm on. Why should I change? It's a bit of questioning. Whether there's anything of value to be added to your life experience by making this change. Your end result, we have the Four of Pentacles reversed and the Eight of Wands. Letting go of your, maybe, of your perspective because it's been comfortable. Like you've been it's the way that you've known, it's the lens that you've known. It served you well, but now you have new information, you have new momentum. It's making you curious about seeing things in a new way, and the grip that you had on, well, this is the way that I see the situation, so it must be right because it's the way I see the situation. It's like, oh, well, perhaps I have something to learn from this. Perhaps I can ease up on my certainty that the way I see the situation is all there is. Maybe I'm opening myself up to a broader perspective. Show me advice for Leo. How can Leo work with these energies for their highest and best good? Don't shy away from the unknown. Most of all, there's a few other cards and I'll get into these, but the main message at the top of the stack is the moon. There's a lot more to the human experience than anything that one human goes through in one lifetime. So it's not to say that the way that you've been doing things is wrong. It's just to say that there's so much more rightness out there, that one way of doing things isn't the only right way of doing things. So to explore the unknowns, explore someone else's path, explore someone else's point of view, and it can really be enriching and enlightening to shed light on the darkness of what you hadn't seen about the human experience before. We also have, oh, interesting. Okay, so one of the cards that showed up is the Ace of Swords. If you guys have been with my channel for a while, you know that when the Ace of Swords shows up in either the first position or one of the two last positions, I allow for that to be a message from Spirit, or not that I allow it. I understand that that's the intention of Spirit, to allow the cards to be used for this type of interpretation, that you can ask a yes or no question. So if you entered this reading with a yes or no question in mind, I have an answer for you here. If you'd like to formulate one now, feel free to pause and come up with one. So I'm going to reveal the Ace of Swords now. It's in the upright, so we have a yes. No worries if you don't want to play that game. It's not required for you to glean any meaning from the reading. In the context of this reading, the Ace of Swords here is truth, getting at truth, and the nature of truth, not being like my truth or your truth, but the truth, like a higher truth. We also have the Death card in reverse, which is about easing into a transformation, being willing to let go of parts of yourself that are no longer resonating with how you're growing. If you're growing and changing, the old version of you has to die away. It's like shedding the skin, like the snake analogy. You know, when a snake grows, its skin doesn't fit anymore, and it has to shed its skin in order to continue growing. And that's part of what you're doing here, is shedding your old skin. We also have the Four of Wands and the Six of Cups reversed, which is all about leveling up and not idealizing a past way of doing things. Leo, I hope that helped. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye.